Good effort from the boys today. How did you see the game?
Yeah, look, I thought it was a really contested one-on-one game today. I think the weather threatened all day, but it actually never really broke through. But look, for the most, I'm pretty happy with the boys. Four-quarter effort. We've been trying to build some consistency around our effort, and it was actually good to see 4 quarters of consistent effort.
You really fought it out all game, especially in the second half. Was that the most pleasing thing for you as a coach, their effort and the endeavour?
Yeah, look, I thought we stopped we've been really poor at transition defence, and I thought today I couldn't recall Launceston really getting a transition from their backs to forward, so I thought we did a really good job of that, and it just turned into a bit more of a scrap. And I thought when we did get the footy, we did look dangerous pretty much going forward with Dixon and Batchelor down there. But unfortunately just fell short, ball bounce left or right, or, a missed goal here and there, and determines the outcome of a game. It can be a cruel game, the TSL, and it turned out to be that way for us today.
If you had to pick the most disappointing thing about today, what would that be?
I wouldn't say it was any real disappointing area. Coming off the back of probably a disappointing game against Lauderdale to really back up and travel. It's never easy travelling in this league, and to get on the bus up here, and we lost Lockie Clifford before the game with a bad back, so I know they had obviously missed Sam and Kelly Mansell as well. So there was nothing I was really disappointed. Obviously disappointed not to get the win. I thought we gave ourselves every opportunity. We stuck in the game long enough. Obviously, it was the last couple of minutes probably where we lost it. So I couldn't pick anything else that was disappointing.
Good players today. Marcus was obviously saw him through the lens a fair bit. He was instrumental. What other players from your team stood out?
Oh, look, it was actually real pleasing. I thought we had really good 22 consistent efforts today. Mitch Carter did his usual stuff across the back, and I thought our midfield worked really hard with Marcus, as you said. Lockie Watt in there as well. And I thought Brady Rees stood up, come through the midfield in place of Lockie Clifford today, really stood up as well. And then, I thought Marcus Gardner really told well in the ruck against Leedman as well. I thought he really gave us some first use of the footy as well, and really managed to actually, I think, break about even in stoppages, which is real pleasing for us against a good midfield of Launceston.
Yeah, that was a ticket there in the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I may have yelled down the headset a few times just to try and make sure we get our setups and matchups right. And it's disappointing. It's hard. It's hard enough to get in front, but to lose it the last couple of minutes is the hard part. But look, we'll walk away with our head held high, and we'll turn around, get home, and play North Lonnie at home next week. And if we can play that same brand of consistent effort, then we'll give ourselves every opportunity next week as well.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
We
will. Thank you.
It was a good win. How did you see the game?
I think my comment, and this will make the person laugh, my comment at the end of the game was it was uglier than Chris Hills. It's one of those ones, fantastic effort to the Tigers. I thought they prepared really well, and they played a fantastic game of footy and really nullified us in what we wanted to do. From our perspective, I thought it was probably our ugliest game for the year, and really lucky to get away with the win.
It was a scrappy game, but a few of your key players didn't stand up there when the game was down on the line and ready to be won, I suppose. Can you call a couple of blokes out who really stood up in that last quarter? Yeah,
I thought the three for me that were fantastic all game, and it was probably unexpected, a couple of unexpected ones. That Connor Smith, I thought Connor was probably just about best on the ground today. Third game for the year, 18-year-old. I think he's super talented, and we're just he's just starting to get a bit of that confidence that he belongs out there now, and he just does everything we ask. He 3 shots on goal in the first half, and he deserved the right to play on ball, but we couldn't because he was just giving us. He was only one forward, giving us a really good a bit of X factor and something different. I thought he was fantastic. Jimmy Aganis, he was super today. It was definitely, I thought his best game for the club was V North 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I think today he really stood up and probably topped that. I think he took some fantastic contested marks late in the game. His last quarter was super. Their third quarter they had 15 inside 50s to 5, and so there was a lot of pressure on our backs, and he really stood up. And Jake Hines was fantastic all day today, and that's something that we come to expect from Jake, being one of the best players in the state.
What's it like sitting in the coach's box and not being out on the ground in the last quarter like that.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but it's also good from other points of view. It gives. I'm not going to be there forever, so it gives some guys, and today it was Connor Smith, 18-year-old, that got a fantastic opportunity again and stood up, and now he's picking himself every week. So yeah, it's always hard to watch, but at the same time, I had a decision to make, and it was to coach today and make sure the players get everything they need from a coaching point of view.
So big game today and a very big game next week. How do you approach these games, leading into a potential finals?
Yeah, it's it's obviously a big 2-week block. If we get away with another win next week, we probably go really close to playing finals. If we lose, it's backs against the wall. But from my perspective, we won't change anything. For us, it's really process driven. End results will take care of themselves. If we deserve to be in the finals, we'll be there. If not, then we'll go back to the drawing board and make sure we work on the things we need to. So from the players' point of view, we roll in Monday. We do the same stuff we've been doing all year and make sure they've got a real sense of stability and an opportunity to perform in an environment to their highest capability.
You had a few out today. Where are you guys and how far away are you?
Yeah, obviously I was really close. I've been sick all week, so that was a tough decision. I trained Thursday night and pulled up really poor Friday, and just thought that if I played today, I wasn't going to give them what I needed to, either as a player or a coach. So we made the call on that, and Rather Kelly Mansell was right to play. He missed 2 weeks ago with his shoulder and had himself right to go, and he had tonsillitis, so he's been on antibiotics all week, and we had 2 or 3 other players that played today that hadn't trained all week, so a bit of a flu and stuff going through the footy club. So it's I'm sure those guys will be feeling pretty fresh and back up and going next week or 2.
He's had the week off work. Raleigh, a bit soft.
Yeah, Ralph's probably the opposite. He's fought all year so far to be out there and played, and he's probably been a couple of games where he played and he shouldn't have, and he's actually learning. So he's realised that if you can't give in excess of 95% of your effort, then you're really going to cost the side. And a couple of times we gave him the benefit of the doubt and probably didn't work out our way. So it's taken to round 15, and he knew he was better off sitting out and letting someone else at 100% play.
So last one, mate. How do you tackle Hobart City next week?
Yeah, they obviously beat us down there, so we've got a bit of a point to prove. I think they're a fantastic side. Watched them a couple of weeks ago against Devonport, and very there's some very good players in that team, and they got us out the back last time, so we've got to make sure we prepare for that, and they've done that to a number of sides this year. So we've got to make sure we do our due diligence and make our boys aware of what to expect and the different sort of scenarios that could play out throughout the game, and make sure they're comfortable with those scenarios, and it's not not just something that they're not expecting. And
I'll be okay. Have a good night tonight, mate.
No worries.